we're going to go ahead and turn it over to Demetrius was the chairman, and I've seen the growth in him throughout the years. And my one thing is that every time someone is found suitable in our home group, they're asked to come up to the front of the group and to share with them how they feel and how they got found suitable. And just about every single one of them would say it was through working the steps and the freedom that they found in Narcotics Anonymous. And one day, he was found suitable. And so I'm not going to tell his story. It's not my story to tell. I'm going to allow him to share that story with each and every one of us. With that, I'll turn it over to Demetrius.
My name is Demetrius. I'm an addict. You know, in 1985, I went to prison. So until recently, until 2020, I was released. So all that time I spent in prison, you know, my addiction had everything really to do with me going to prison. PCP was my choice of drugs. So it wasn't until 2010 that I got a sponsor. In 98 is when I made a decision to change my life. I was digging myself into a hole and just getting into more trouble, picking up felonies in prison. And, you know, but I was still using in prison. I was still drinking, getting high. And so working the steps with a sponsor really helped me find myself. I was one of those guys that was asking always, you know, I had issues with God. Where's God in my life? But really it came down to asking the question about where was Demetrius? And Narcotics Anonymous really helped me find myself. It helped me to gain some insight into the underlying factors of my addiction. You know, um, um, being an inmate, an addict is one thing, but really when it comes to uh, being somebody who wants a way out, but doesn't know how to get out, you know, they're functioning. I was functioning off amplified character defects, and working the steps with my sponsor. Uh, he helped me to dig, you know, to dig up the roots of the problem, to dig up the roots of how I was coping with life in a corrupt way. And Narcotics Anonymous really it 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 just gave me a greater understanding of who I was and helped me to accept me. Um, and really that's a great problem with people in prison, is that we have resentment towards self, resentment towards the things that we've done. And Narcotics Anonymous not only helped me to look at my own resentments, but the resentments that I had towards other people. And denial, living in denial, was a key factor also in my addiction, because I couldn't accept that somebody who loved me neglected me. And so Narcotics Anonymous helped me to look at my resentments, my character defects, and it just helped me find myself. It helped me to accept life on life's terms. Coming out, getting out of prison has been, I say I'm living a miracle, because I spent 34 and a half years in prison. And the first person that I contacted coming out of prison was my sponsor. And he got me a phone, he got me some clothes, you know, and he's just been a lifeline to me, a friend. and so, you know, but he would share his experience, he would share his strength, and the hope of living a successful life, living a clean life, living a life of freedom from the addiction and that whole cycle of madness. And but and he's not the only one. Tony's been there for me, and Mike, just so many other people in Narcotics Anonymous. The family of Narcotics Anonymous has been there for me, and that was one of the things also. Uh, was looking for acceptance in my addiction. But when it comes to Narcotics Anonymous, it's a lifeline. It's a lifeline, and I would hope that if you choose to be a sponsor and reach out to an inmate, work the steps with an inmate, don't quit on them, because so many people in their past have quit on them. And it's good to have someone who really has your back. God would always tell me, I'm in it for the long haul, and I embrace that. And he's proven true. And I just recently bought a car. I have two vehicles. I mean, two jobs, and a place to live. It's amazing. It's amazing to be out and enjoying life and being productive and living positive. It's just, and there are so many guys that are in prison that are rooting for me, you know, and they want to see us succeed. And even guys that they know that have used and stopped using, they cheer them on. They want to see them succeed because it builds hope. And that's what we do. We share the hope, we share the strength, and we share our experience. And so my name is Demetrius. I'm an addict, and I appreciate being invited to this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Demetrius. Thank you for your experience, strength, and hope. And to close with this workshop here, we got to see all aspects of sponsorship behind the walls, from the coordinators of the prison to the coordinators sponsorship behind the walls, to the sponsor, and to the most important, the sponsee. This program does work. It does save lives. And it's a two-way street when it's a sponsorship relationship. I believe the sponsor gets out just as much as a sponsee does. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys for allowing us to share in this panel. I hope everybody have a good year, and thank you for letting me be of service.